Alrighty, it is final boss time. Up against Kayiu here. I did get a peek at what they're up to, but then Kayiu also got to watch a bit of what I'm up to, so typical league match, we're kind of a little aware of what each other's doing. Kayiu is jamming a deck that has been, oh god, rolled a 20! Well, that's a good sign. And a zero lander to start. Alrighty. Well, 6. That's a cityscape that can get us in this. Triple Apex in the opener is real awkward. Uh, keep 6, Apex to bottom. So Kai's on a tried and tested deck of theirs, has made it into the deck lists channel. They're on a turn 1 redeveloped cityscape. Swamp would not be the worst thing in the world here. Not quite what I meant. That does help us understand that our cityscape is going to get us swamp and a mountain, I think. Cityscape of our own, and I'm just going to pass. And I think I'm going to be pitching Laystone of Ruin. Let them tell me what they're doing with their cityscape first. Pitching a cityscape, I see. What I know of this deck, so this is 5-color Golden Age. This is leaning heavily on Cityscape plus a bunch of basics, and then Golden Aging into Cityscape, because the theory is Cityscape plus Golden Age helps you really consistently find your 5 colors. Manifest the Light Veins is also really good at getting that job done. This is a 2/2 with Vigilance, Haste, and Ward 1 that taps for 2 mana of different colors while it is a creature. And then if the land would leave the battlefield, instead the Light Veins get sacrificed and the land gains indestructible. So that is going to start clocking me not super fast. I forgot to activate my cityscape. Well, that sure did result in my cityscape going to going the full turn rotation without being correct. Well, at the very least, crack this now. Exile Laystone. View library. Let's go get Swamp to play tapped. Mountain to hand. And then play Flooded Morris. And Ignited Soul. And pass. Not out of this just yet. Like, I can't imagine my opponent's going to deal with a turn 3 Garen. That said, they could absolutely put a Cathet in play and kill a turn 3 Garen. Gotta hope for a few things to go right for us here. Cathet will be the disaster scenario, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, absolutely always taking 2. A little bit of lag there. No immediate land drop is promising. Now, of course, they can tap tap the island and forest for 3, float 1, Golden Age away the forest for another cityscape, and be set for mana, and have like 2 untapped mana to try and, like, I don't know, play another Light Veins. However, they're pausing, which makes me think I may have lucked out here. Despite my misplay, despite my kind of mediocre second opening hand that I maybe should have pushed to 5 for, this is looking interesting. Very, very optimistic about them pausing for as long as they are here. They could just be looking at, like, just dropping a mantle while the pressure's low. Because if they've got a Prismatic Mantle in hand, Nascent Light Vein tapping for red, and they have enough different lands that tap for different colors that the Light Vein will enter untapped. 2 mana. So I think, yeah, Golden Age. So they were tanking on what lands to play here, I think, which makes me think Either they were just tanking on what Nascent Light Vein was going to be choosing, or they have more lands in their hand. We will see here. Opponent has not yet made their choice on Golden Age. Highly likely they're going for redeveloped Cityscape here, but they could just get an untapped land, get a Light Vein even, and jam 3-drop here. I feel like the nightmare scenario here would be grab a basic Astrathian Gentrifiers. But then they probably would have just jammed that immediately, because Gentrifiers looks very promising into Golden Age. Okay, Vishanki District. So they've got all 5 colors currently available, because Island. No, not getting District. Interesting. Thought about getting District, chose not to get District. What does that tell me? So I don't know too much about what Kayiu is cooking here, but I do know they were looking at adding some Get Your Wishes to the deck. I think I have to be a little worried that they could be trying to find a line where they can hold up Get Your Wish. But then Get Your Wish only currently hits 2 mana value. Okay, they're just going for the Cityscape. I think that confirms for me that they do have more lands in hand here. Liquidating the Ignited Soul. Wow. Yeah, full respect there. That is absolutely something that should be getting removed. I do get to just jam Garen here, uptick, clear these expect apexes from my hand. But yeah, no, that is definitely... Come on, and we know we sent one to the bottom, though I guess we did shuffle. All right, all right. Garen. Set counters to 4. Ship these away. Draw 2. Mecha is nice, but I can't really play it this turn. Let's go for the Lava Torn Field. We can get it in play next turn. Come on, Kayiu. Oh. I sure did. Definitely starting to get a little magicked out, I think. Just like some real sloppy play patterns. So opponent now knows I have a land in hand. Can't hold up Dying Pledge like I thought I might be able to. Opponent gets Forest, Swamp to hand, Forest to play, pitches a Liquidate. Interesting to pitch a Liquidate with Garen in play, but then they can transform Golden Age, and Garen doesn't actively threaten them in any large capacity. Because they can just keep attacking Garen. Yeah, set counters to 2. Gubernatorial Fundraiser here is going to establish 2 more colors into the approval. So Get Your Wish can now, Get Your Wish for 4 mana, flip Harmony. Granted, that has to be done at sorcery speed. But like, there's nothing important that's going to happen here that changes what's happening here. Cathet is going to start just burying me. This is a deck that's on my radar as well. I think Lilith's deck, Lilithasaur's deck, is something I'm more personally interested in playing, but I cannot deny that there is some serious appeal to just everything that Kayiu has going on with this 5-color Golden Age deck. It is seriously spicy in all of the right ways, and I am very intrigued about trying it myself, either for a league run or a GP run. We shall see. I'll draw. Opponent has 3 lands in their graveyard, so lurking them is not super great, but I can still go land drop Mecha Lurks. That eats a cassette down tick, and then they just get your wish off Harmony for another cassette. That's pretty bad, being entirely honest. But I'm not sure I have too much else going on anyways. So I'm gonna go Lava Torn Fields. This land they totally didn't know about. I'm going to play out the mecha. Play out Lurks. Target myself. Exile Garen from my graveyard to gain 1. Something that's kind of nice here is I do have a land in my graveyard to filter to Dying Pledge here. I do have a 2/2 to crew the mecha with. Don't know if I want to crew the mecha, but it's an option. My opponent is down to 1 card in hand. Chronicle to the bin. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they no, this is 7 mana. This is 9 mana. Yeah, they're exiling Get Your Wish with Harmony. Pretty unsurprising here. They could absolutely devastate me here by just having me discard 2 and exile my graveyard. Like just get your wish for another Chronicle. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but they could. I could just be out of this. I think in a world where they get your wish for Chronicle, declare Chronicle discard mode, I am just going to concede and hide what my hand is here. Tapping 2, Treasure and Forest. For another Light Veins. Tapping 2. For another Golden Age. For Miasmic Cove. That makes sense here. Like they've got Devotion of 3. Oh no, they've got Devotion of 5 to green. So this is 1 mana to crew to animate. And then tapping 5. Like tapping 3 for Czar. Oh, get your wish for Czar, and then they've got 5 mana, so they can just get Czar in play. That's not how Czar works. That is how Czar works. Yep, that is just gonna be curtains here. No, not the control matchup. Unlock the sideboard. Laystone's out. Mecha out. Garen out. Dying Pledge out. Let's go up the Search and Seizures. Let's go up the Buy Imperial Decrees and just ship it like that. Have very much liked the Buy Imperial Decrees. Have felt decent about the Search and Seizures in theory, but have not gotten to try them in practice. But yeah, this is going to be an uphill climb. We may not get the 5-0 like I am hoping, but we will still be in deck lists one way or another, so there's that. Yeah, this is shaping up to be a rough one. Have not been thrilled with how many graveyard matchups I've run up against where I just feel like Laystone has to come out. That is, I think, partly a consequence of the sideboard construction. Having no graveyard hate in the sideboard has been kind of painful, and I felt like the matches where I've brought in Rank and Defile have been a little shoddy. I don't know. We'll get into that more in the recap after this, but the sideboard is definitely the area that needs the most improvement. We'll see how this shakes up from there. I can make some educated guesses on what my opponent is boarding in because they're the last deck in Revolution deck lists posted yesterday at 5:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Kayiu's Golden Age deck. So we can see that at least at that point in time, they were on 2 Eitri Procession, 1 Coup d'etat, 3 Crown Guard Band, 3 Alejana, 1 Top of the Charts, 4 Search and Seizure, 1 Abominable Avalanche. I feel like Top of the Charts just kills me. So there's a high likelihood that that's something they're going for. Abominable Avalanche is pretty good against me as well, because I believe it is 3 damage split as you choose. Let's make this card much more clearly visible here. Yeah, 3 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. So that can absolutely just wipe away 3 small toughness creatures. So Abominable Avalanche, if they've got it in their board, still very likely to come in. Top of the Charts, very likely to come in. Don't think they'll board in Search and Seizure, but they were on 4. Don't think they board in Alejana against me. I could see them boarding in a Coup d'etat. They were on 3 in their old main deck. They could be going up to 4. They could already be on 4. We'll see. We'll see if they get this list in deck lists once again. And they could go in on Eitri Procession to try and have more answers to my 3 drops. But Zar just provides the answer they need. That is awkward. Lurks into Garen. Gargantua's stuck in hand. Mull to 6. Turn 1 Soul that they have no good turn 1 interaction for, and I can go pitch All That Remains, Dying Pledge, I've got Apex, I've got Gargantua. That's going to be a keep for sure. It's a sketchy keep, but it's much better keep than that 7. So I think it's going to be Dying Pledge. No, it's going to be All That Remains to the bottom. I don't think I need 2 All That Remains. I want something that I can play off 2 mana because I'm going to be less likely to hit 3 mana and just naturally get that out of hand. That said, main 1, get the Soul in play, pass the turn. I do feel like I play a little sloppy against Kayiu. There's a little bit of this, like, Kayiu is just a much better Magic player than I am, I feel. And so some of that does kind of creep into my plays. I'm a little more self-conscious of my play patterns here. Get to untap and draw. Search and Seizure, that's exciting. Go to combat, swing for 1. Damage, discard Apex, draw a card, another Ignited Soul. So I have some choices here. I could All That Remains, dig for a land to try and get the Ignited Soul in play, but the problem is I only have 3 lands that can also cast Search and Seizure. I think I'm just jamming the second Ignited Soul. I need the momentum. And Kayiu not making my mistake, cracking Cityscape on my end step. Pitching a Gubernatorial Fundraiser. Interesting. That tells me some scary things about their hand. Like that they might have another Gubernatorial Fundraiser, as it turns out. I will get through that, fortunately. Draw. Scrapyard Mecha. That's probably going to get pitched to one of these Ignited Souls. I think I'm pitching the Gargantua first. Let's open up graveyards, though. Let's have these pieces of information available to us more readily. So this is never changing. We are swinging 2 always. Opponent takes 2 damage. We've got 2 of these. I'm going to the first one, pitch all that remains to draw a card. By Imperial Decree is interesting. I think it's going to be the Mecha? Yeah, Mecha, draw a card for the Cityscape. Second main. Play Cityscape, pass. Do not love the position I'm in here, but okay. Note to self, do not crack Cityscape on my turn. Crack it on theirs. Swamp from hand. I think that was known. Work safety violation, blow up my 2 ignited souls. Sure thing. So that's going to be these to the bin. So I have some real choices to make here. I could try and squeeze a Gargantua into play next turn, but that's kind of hard without a way to put a creature into the graveyard. Now, naturally, I do actually have a way to put another creature into my graveyard if I draw a creature. Or if I, actually not even if I draw a creature, because I have the All That Remains, that is an avenue of play that I can take. The problem is, if I try and get my blue and red on the off chance that I draw Garen, I won't be able to go All That Remains into Chittering Gargantua, which sucks, because number one, I would love to go Gargantua into Apex. Number two, I'd love to be able to play my red card. But I think I'm going to Cityscape crack for sure. And I would love to pick apart their hand. I think I just need to get rid of the Search and Seizure. I think I do not have time to pick away their hand and not have more agency here. I'm going to view library. I'm going to get islands to play tapped, swamped battlefield, and then I need to decide if I'm All That Remaining here, and if I'm pitching it by Imperial Decree or Dying Pledge to do so. I think I'm pitching Dying Pledge. No, I'm pitching Decree. I don't want to pitch Decree, but I think I'm pitching Decree. I think I'm pitching my sideboard stuff. I just don't want to drop interactions. The problem. This is a matchup where I feel like I need the interaction. I'm going to flashback the All That Remains. I'm going to pitch the Dying Pledge. And the top three. Gargantua, Gargantua, Swamp. That's actually pretty nice. I think now I take the Swamp and I bin both Gargantuas with the expectation that if I can somehow string together a line where I can get Garen in play, I could turn the Gargantua into Apex. But maybe... Okay, so this is happening for sure. Oh, wait, no, I was going to put a Gargantua in the bin. All right, well, they know the Swamp's in the bin. I'm taking the Gargantua. Whoops. Playing bad. Playing bad on match 5 of the league, folks. And we hit the 4th land anyways. Let's play Swamp as land for turn. Gargantua, eat the creatures in my graveyard. Gain 3. Opponent takes 3. My opponent is, like, not at an irrelevant life total here. That is 3 hits from the Gargantua. Problem is, 5 cards in hand. High likelihood that they have removal as one of those cards. It's, oh, not playing the island. Interesting. Be very funny if they decide that the 4/4 is not even worth worrying about and they just jam Quindril Accords here. I don't think that's what would happen. I think Kayiu is going to prioritize shutting down my ways of killing them. But I do think it'd be really funny if they just jammed Quindril Accords here while I'm tapped out of my counter magic. I wonder if they tap out for Quindril Accords, is that a game-losing play? Not if they tap two. Oh, what is happening here? I'm so confused as to what's happening here. Get your wish. Get your wish. Mana value 3 or less spell off of Get Your Wish here. So they could just find Liquidate if they don't have it in hand. And I will be not so sad that I can't buy Imperial Decree because, like, 2 mana up. Yeah, this is one of the downsides of buy Imperial Decree is that, like, counter it unless they pay 2. They can. Maybe I should have pitched the buy Imperial Decree just for, like, the more fuel. Exile my lands. This is the rough matchup for sure. And perhaps that's a reason to not like try and queue this up, is if this deck can't really contend with 5-color Get Your Wish control or 5-color Golden Age control, maybe that's a reason to not jam this for the GP, is like if I think this deck just can't really step to what my opponent is doing, I'm going to lose the game. And I'm going to lose very consistently. Because I think a lot of people are going to have their eye on 5-color control. Because like it's just the cool new hotness. It uses the like spicy new things from the set. It just like grinds the game out of the opponent's reach. Golden Age here will get to check off a progress because Get Your Wish was a multicolor spell cast this turn, so it is geared up to flip next turn. I could see this thing getting the land tapped and or requiring 3 conditions to flip. But we're not at a point to speculate. And I think this card is just sick in a lot of ways. Miasmic Cove. Scary time when my opponent's so confident that they can just, yeah. Slow rolling the Liquidate the whole time. Sure thing, buddy. Oh, if I hadn't missed a land drop and could have had another blue source up for by Imperial Decree, if things could have gone very my way, basically. Yeah, we're gonna go 1-2 for lurks. Target my bin. Eat Dying Pledge. Gain 1. My opponent's down to 3 cards in hand. That said, don't think it matters. Unless this next card is literally Quindril Accords. Notably, they are down to 4 mana. However, I have to assume they've got another land drop here. Like, Kai's on, I think, 25 lands, or at least the previous version of this deck was on 25 lands. So looking at using Miasmic Cove, interesting. I do appreciate that Lurking Virculacus is not a throwaway threat. This is a card that can genuinely cause trouble for my opponent if they do not answer it. It's because it's something that pushes my opponent to have to think about answering it. Get Your Wish is going to flip Harmony. And then they're wishing for presumably Cathet to just lock the door. Which is a bit of a bummer because they have exactly enough mana to pay for buy Imperial Decree. Oh no, what I do here is I counter the get your wish and then they can't free cast something. Um So yeah, this is something I genuinely do have to think about. If I buy Imperial Decree Get Your Wish, they can't play something like Cathet off of the Get Your Wish here. And that does give me a turn to grow the Verkalakis out of range of Cathet shooting it. I think this is my window. This is my only window. They pay, but they can't free cast off the wish. Sure thing. Go ahead and wish. And I feel like they're still going to get Cathet. It is still very good against me here. They could just go get removal. I feel like the responsible line is just... the responsible line here is just Chronicle of Extinction, discard my hand, make me exile my graveyard. I think if that's what's happening, I'm out. game 2 to Kayiu, end of run. But hey, there's a world where they go greedy, they go Cathet, trying to hope to like free cast it for Lurking Verkalakis, and then I get to go But Kayiu's a pretty good player. I feel like they'll see that that's why I did that. Not completely out of the purview for a good player to miss that, but I feel like Kayiu sees where I'm coming from here. That said, buy Imperial Decree is still coming up kind of relevantly, even when my opponent can pay for it, so that's nice. Opponent trying to double spell here, and I just get to say, nah, nope, don't double spell, don't do that. Spend 5 mana on your tutor, and then end your turn. They're going for Cathet. So Cathet in hand, no other action. So they do see what's going on, but they're still going for Cathet. I think that is still pretty reasonable. That still can just shut the game down hard. Draw another Lurking Verkalakis. Interesting. I have some choices to make here. I could Verkalakis, swing my Verkalakis in play, just apply maximum pressure on my opponent's graveyard. But then they just eat their 2 lands, don't grow either of my creatures, and the like Harmony just continues to bury me. There's an interesting conversation to be had here as well. I can put Chittering Gargantua in play. So I've got 4 mana. 8. No, I can't. If this was a land, I could put Chittering Gargantua in play. I'd have to sacrifice my Verkalakis. And I could in theory do that. But I don't know. I feel like this is very rapidly escaping my reach here. I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to send the Verkalakis. I'm going to target myself, eat the by Imperial Decree. Give them the window to block with fundraisers if they'd like, or they can just go to 9. I think they probably just go to 9. Like, I have to hit all 3 apexes, and I don't have any aggressive ways of milling myself right now. So what you doing here, Kayiu? Blocking. Kind of what I suspected would happen here. Life total is worth preserving. The fundraisers is kind of just a necessary sacrifice here. Second main, I'm going to hang back with the Verkalakis here because I think I would like to play this when my opponent's Cathet is already at 2 loyalty. Because I think there's a world where they downtick Cathet, hit me for 2. They don't have a white source. What am I doing? Eat my own graveyard, eat my mecha. Because they could always have a white source in hand, but I know there's one of their 3 cards is Cathet. So no, this was still stupid. Work safety violation. 3 lands is funny though. 3 white sources too. My goodness. No white sources for you, I guess. And I think that's, unless they went up to multiple of some of the basics, that is their only planes. So that could negatively impact their ability to put a Cathet into play from hand. And interesting that they go for Get Your Wish over Work Safety Violation. I feel like the violation's just the right play here. But maybe they feel differently. This is putting some awkward stuff on my shoulders here, though. And Nascent Light Vein, there is the white source. Yeah, if they want to use Get Your Wish here, so they're casting Get. What are they casting here? Oh, they can Chronicle. They can Chronicle, clear my board. And then I put Chitter and Gargantua into play with my whole turn. They go get another Chronicle, make me sacrifice, and I'm kind of just out. Kind of just drew too much of the slow stuff too slow here. Czar to hand. And then putting Cathet into play. Not exactly what I expected here, but sure. So killing Verkalakis, sure thing. Iris Pledge? Sure, buddy. Goodness gracious. I'm surprised they're not paying white here. Okay, they are paying white. So they gain 3. Move graveyard to exile. Oh, that's some spicy graveyard hate right there. Kind of questionable because you can't really cast it off of Harmony, but that, I mean, like, that is tailor-made to beat this deck up. Goodness. Think I'm out here no matter what I draw. Sure. Well, that would have enabled me to 2-mana Gargantua. I could have eaten my opponent's Get Your Wish, Gargantua sacrificing the Rivaling and then exiling it and then drawing a card to replace it. Yeah. I'm just out. 27 life does not matter here. My opponent has established the lock. I'm going to just respect both of our times. 27 life might as well be 0. So that's kind of an unfortunate end. We were on a roll up to that point. I did say on my final league ping, like, hey, somebody kill my 5-0 dream. And kayiu took that request, made it reality. I'm so flustered, just like kind of processing what just happened to me. Golden Age Control. That card is something else. Yeah, let's get on to the wrap up